else.
Okay. Anti-Vaccination, Fact or Hysteria by me, Parker Campbell, Ken Kirschman, Max Valencia, and Ryan has decided to not show up. Okay, vaccines and the anti-vaccination movement. Vaccines have been a key role in destroying many diseases since they were discovered in 1796. The many diseases they have eradicated, such as smallpox in 1980, polio in 1963, and rinderpost in the mid-1900s. The scientific definition for a vaccine is the injection of a killed microbe into the body. So basically, you are pretty much giving yourself the disease, so your body develops an immunity to it, therefore making your body immune to the disease. Anti-vaccination movements have come a rise in the past centuries, and especially in the past couple of decades. Many reasons for these anti-vaccination movements are many of the pros for these anti-vaccination movements say that there's no research for vaccines. Vaccines are profitable. They cost a lot. They can cause diseases such as autism and Down syndrome, and they have many harmful chemicals. These are reasons such as ethical, scientific, social, and economic. And although these may be true, there's scientific evidence for both sides that support both. Okay, problem number one. The problem is supporters of the anti-vaccination movement spread misinformation. Supporters spread misinformation. Misinformed people through rumors, small talk, get unreliable and false sources from the internet, media, and news. Children who contract these diseases because of this misinformation are more susceptible to dying early, and they can affect more people because they have no immunity to diseases.
All right, so this picture right here is a survey done by the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and basically it shows the exemption rates of vaccines in kindergartners across the U.S. So it basically shows that vaccines are widely accepted, and over 95% of kindergartners are vaccinated. But it's unevenly distributed across the country. So our problem two is that parents choose not to vaccinate their child or children. So this is a problem for the children because children who do not receive specific vaccinations contract those diseases and pass them on to younger children or elderly who have not yet received vaccines, or their immune system is too weakened to fight off the illness. This can lead to extremely destructive diseases to be caught and sometimes death. So basically, because of the creation of vaccines, parents do not need to worry about their child developing diseases such as polio, smallpox, chickenpox, tetanus, measles, and so because these vaccinations have prevented the contraction of those diseases, they should be widespread throughout communities. If children become infected with the diseases, then they will spread throughout communities through those who are susceptible.
Alright, so for our first solution that we came up with to the two problems that we have discovered through our studies, our first solution, Matt, is we provide information to the people who are followers and supporters of the anti-vaccination movement. The reason why we thought this solution was feasible was because that many of the people who are supporting the anti-vaccination movements they don't know much about vaccines, and they usually just have false information that they're believing and going off of. So we thought that if we provide information to basically the source of all the misinformation, it could reduce the chances of people getting misinformed. So the strengths of the solution that we have found is that if this solution actually comes through as a successful solution, then many large groups of people will change their opinions about vaccines, and they will reevaluate their opinions on how effective vaccines are and if they're actually a harm to our culture. And the weakness that we have also found with this with this solution is that many people still might deny the fact that vaccines are good due to either ethical or religious reasons, just because that it's going against their morale. And that is also one of the main sources of the anti-vaccination movement, is that it's going against their moral reasonings, even though that it has shown the facts have proven that vaccines are all around beneficial, except for those slight chances. And then the second solution that we have come up with to solve those two problems that we have identified is that we provide information to young adults, and we advertise informing young people about the benefits of vaccines. The reason that we thought this was feasible was because it can lead them to not be persuaded by misinformed people about how vaccines are negatively affecting them. If we give young people the opportunity to study the benefits of vaccines, they would know the facts are that vaccines are very beneficial, and that people who say otherwise are probably just misinformed. The strength is that it will inform many people early in their lives to decide whether or not they want to vaccinate their children, which is whether they want to vaccinate their children or not. It would also give them the opportunity to vouch for vaccines and how vaccines are beneficial to our culture, and slow down the anti-vaccination movement. The weakness with this is that some people might just simply not want to receive that information and go off with the beliefs of either families or friends who are against vaccinations altogether. That might be due to, as I said, family and friends, but also manipulation, because of the fact that vaccines aren't the cheapest thing, and manipulation by government officials. Thank you. And Mr. Holmes would be going right now in presenting his piece, but he bailed on us.
Do you guys have a conclusion slide?
No, he was too soon to prepare that. Yeah.
Yeah, timing wise, you're at 7:20, so let me ask you guys your questions, and then I'll make some general comments later. Okay, I'll just move across. So Max, you're first. So having finished with the project, right? Is there any specific thing that you look back at now and you go, if I knew more about this, our presentation would be better? Do you notice a hole in what we've done that by filling it would improve?
I think there are some things that we could, there's some things that were unclear to us during our research phase that we didn't really uncover. Like, there's some things that contradict our opinions in some of our, because during my writing, I was a social and cultural lens. There are many things that I was trying to argue about, but then I contradicted myself, and I think that if I found more information about the movement, I would be able to patch up those holes, stop contradicting myself, and be able to perform a stronger argument.
And then Kent, what was one way in which your team's resolution makes you think different about your own research? Like the end conclusions you guys are having now, does that influence at all how you thought about what you wrote about?
So the conclusion was different than I thought it was going to be. So it kind of made me rethink my information that I wrote about in my paper, and so I had scientific lens, and I was actually finding that there was evidence behind both sides, and so yeah, it kind of changed the way that I had thought about vaccines before. I thought that they were like completely unchallenged in like efficacy and everything, but now through my research and stuff, I found that it's otherwise, and that there's truth to both sides.
And then finally, Parker, describe an argument from one of these guys' papers that didn't make it into the final presentation, and maybe why you guys chose to exclude it. So, was there anything from their perspectives that you recall that didn't make it to this?
Okay. From Max's, he had a social lens, and he kind of talked about how the internet and media can affect like the ways that people's thinking, and that didn't really make it in because we thought like it could have been fake because internet is not that credible. So we didn't want to put it at something in that wasn't as completely credible as something like from a scientific journal. So that's probably the reason.